What's going on, you Midnight Maniacs? Welcome to No Rest Gaming. I'm your host, Devilman, here with Monkeystrides 23. He is my bud, he's my champ, and today we're going to do a very special podcast. It's the first one of many. What are we going to call it today, Norm? What are we going to call it? We're going to call it.
Oh, let's just call it the intro. This is the first one we've done, so
We can't call the
we're
podcast the
introducing
intro.
everybody to the podcast.
Well, no, I mean, we just can't call it the
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
the
we
intro.
can. Why can't we?
Because we can't. We gotta call it something fun, like late night.
Okay,
late night, the Devil Monkey or something.
Or how about we can call it Michael Bay killed the TMNT?
Yeah, but we can't have every podcast be Michael Bay fucking sucks dick, Fuck Michael Bay. You just can't, you can't
Yes,
do it.
but for this one, I'm sure we can.
We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot here.
That's a shame.
What's going on? Let's see. Today's topics we are going to talk about. What are we going to talk about today, Norm? We're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Do you mind if I call you Norm? You can call me Eric. You can call me Devil.
Yes.
So you do mind if I call you Norm?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care what you call me.
I'm Eric. Everybody knows me. Nobody knows me. Nobody gives a shit. If anybody watches this, I'll be amazed. I'll be blown away. But let's see. What are we talking about today? We're talking about the new Michael Bay Ninja Turtles.
You're getting off track.
I'm trying to stay on track. It's my first one ever, so I'm trying my best. We're going to talk about the Ninja Turtles shit. We're going to talk about rumors of a all-female Ghostbusters remake or reboot. Interesting. And I think we're going to finish up a little bit of Destiny. I say, it sounds good?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. So you and I, when I was down on vacation out there.
So how do you? Which one would you like to start with?
Well, let's just start with the Ninja Turtles bullshit. We'll start there because, what was it? Last week, the week before, I was down there on vacation. I was down with you, and power went out at your house. We were bored. We couldn't play Diablo, so we decided we'll give Michael Bay another $10. We'll give him a little bit more cash to fund his Megan Fox fascination. I know a lot of people like her. I'm not a big fan. And what'd you think of it?
Yeah.
Man? I'll let you go first. What did you think of the Ninja Turtles movie?
Well, I mean, it would have been a great movie had the Ninja Turtles never previously existed.
Sure, if you just forgot about all that
think
lore.
that the yeah, exactly. You know, the only thing that they really kept in there was Michelangelo's love for pizza, and apparently he's the only turtle that loves pizza. It was weird. Also, another note of weird is the big ass noses that the turtles had.
It wasn't.
They just didn't look right. I mean.
I don't think it was the noses. I think it was the fact that they had like weird human lips. Like they had like the top part of the lip and everything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't used to that. I know one thing that bugged the shit out of me is
definitely.
Go ahead, Ed. You gonna let me finish? Finish?
No.
Let me finish. One of the things that bugged the hell out of me was.
That's what I was doing.
Oh yeah, no. Don't interrupt me, fool. It's our first one. We gotta make it shine. We gotta make it sparkle. But one of the things that bugged the shit out of me is Donatello was constantly wearing like these glasses. Like they were like broken in half. You had to put like a stick to make them bigger to fit on his face. But it was like, where the fuck is he getting these glasses? Like, who's making these glasses? Like, did he find a lens and goes, oh, he held it up to his right eye. I was like, oh my god, this actually fits my eye. Makes my eyes look better. I gotta find one for the left eye now and tape them bitches together. Who is making this Ninja Turtle fucking glasses that fits his face?
Probably.
I feel like they did that just to make him
my guess is they found it in the sewer, just kind of like how. Well, the fact that they made him nerdy like that was stupid because he was never nerdy. He was smart.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay is kind of just pointing like, hey, if you want to be a computer genius, you have to be nerdy. So let's give him glasses, which he's never had before.
Yeah.
And they probably washed up in the sewer, kind of like, you know, the book on how to learn kung fu.
It was ninjutsu.
So, Master Splinter, that's how he learned.
It was the lessons of ninjutsu or some shit like that. I wish to God we'd have snuck in a video camera just to catch that fucking scene. It was like, and I learned ninjutsu from a book, and I taught them my sons.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Who the fuck does that?
I don't know about I don't know so much about Kevin Eastman, but I'm pretty sure Peter Laird is very pissed off about this whole situation. He you know.
I'm.
They are the people that created the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, no, I'm not retarded.
Um,
No, I read somewhere that actually this movie
well,
got greenlit right after, or like it got greenlit like right before Peter Laird gave up his like rights to it or whatever. He gave up rights to it right before that happened to like Nickelodeon and shit.
yeah,
And I was just like, wow.
Kevin Eastman was Kevin Eastman, it seemed, was more about the money than the actual characters. But Peter Laird, I mean, he even had a rant about 10 years ago about the softening of the Ninja Turtles. So
Well,
and of course when they, if I don't know if you've ever read the comics, they were pretty
they were pretty gory. They were pretty
pretty
graphic.
intense, I would
There
say.
was no foot ninja robots. There were
Yes,
people,
yes.
and there was lots of decapitations and death and all
Exactly,
kinds of
and
shit.
yes. They actually, it wasn't until '86 when they wanted to produce toys is when they kind of
Yeah,
softened up the Ninja Turtles.
Play School
That's
or
when
Mattel
the
or some
whole
shit.
loving of
Yeah.
pizza and the Foot Clan. Yeah. So and a bit of trivia. I bet you I don't know if you remember this, a little blast from the past with the voice. Do you remember who voiced the original Shredder in
Everybody
the
knows
cartoon
those
we
dudes.
had growing up?
It's Uncle Phil, James Avery. He voiced the original Shredder.
Yeah. James Avery. Not everybody knows that.
Everybody
Knows Uncle Phil, but
Dude,
they
everybody
don't know
knows
his
it
name.
because he died like
The late.
a year ago or something. So it's like everybody's like, did you know he voiced Shredder?" And I was like, nobody really knows because nobody watched that show.
Yeah, no, people don't know that. People, people are like, I can't believe Uncle Phil died. And nobody saying, oh, the voice of Shredder died. No.
No, but they say like he's
Either
also
way,
known for the
so
voice of Shredder. But and apparently
yeah, but
I heard somewhere
uh,
that this storyline was actually like based off like a different like backstory or something, like some not well known story. I'm not familiar with it, but excuse me, to not have.
what from the movie?
Yeah, the movie was it was like the
Well,
backstory was from
I
like a special comic or something that nobody probably fucking like you had to be like a super duper mega ultra fan
knows
to
about.
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it couldn't even. Well, originally, I mean, see, Splinter has obviously a few backstories of where he came from, but the two most known are the one where was it Hamamoto Yoshi or whatever,
It's Yamato
and he
Yoshi.
mutated into a rat.
Yeah.
Yamato Yoshi, yeah, exactly. My Spanish, my Japanese isn't that great. We, as English, pronounce
Yeah.
every letter. But that was, I think, the most famous. But then you get the part where he was actually his rat,
Yeah.
his pet, Yamato Yoshi's pet, and he got mutated and became this whatever. But the story that Michael Bay came up with, I've never heard of. In fact, I think it was. I just don't think it served the line justice.
Yeah, it was retarded that like
What was your thought on the movie?
It was just the backstory was retarded. It was like April O'Neil, I guess, decided to save the turtles instead of I don't know calling the police or like trying to help her father out of a fire. She's like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna save this rat and these 4 turtles that are my old pets. And it was just like, okay, that's stupid.
Well,
Honestly,
that being served, she was a child.
yeah, but still, dude, I think you'd have more concern for a parent than pets. Like, that's my thought about like.
Or not even that, just getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I must say I do agree with you. I mean the whole backstory, the all that, it was just, I think it was stupid. Like I said, it would have been good if it hasn't existed before. If
if it was brand new,
there was no Ninja Turtles, yeah, that would have been, yeah,
exactly.
that would have been great. But it's like he turned it into April saving the turtles instead of like what we're used to.
Like the entire movie. The entire movie was basically April centric to piss me off. Like even April like finished Shredder by kicking the sword into his chest or whatever. Like what the fuck, man? And
Exactly.
it's like that
It
entire
seemed
movie could
more
handle.
tailored around.
Yeah. That entire
Yes.
movie could be handled without
Like I said, it
April. It's
seemed
just
more tailored. Yeah.
so.
No, honestly, you could have made that movie without April, but they tried to tailor it around her. Like, I understand she's a lead character, but the movie isn't called April O'Neil and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the part I didn't like. It seemed like Michael Bay's obsession to make Megan Fox
Yeah.
the best character out there. I can't get my head around it. So.
In all honesty, with
Other than that, I mean,
in all honesty, with the
go ahead.
with the I don't know how to say this. With the way the ninja, like, you could have taken ninja completely the fuck out of it, because these Ninja Turtles were like miniature Hulks running around. At one point, they were bulletproof, fucking shooting bullets back at them. Fucking at the beginning, it's like Raphael is like throwing shipping containers left and right. And like what the fuck is going on? That's not even stealthy. It's just you're a miniaturized Hulk, dude. Like, just either be a Ninja Turtle, be stealthy in the shadows or something, or just be a fucking Hulk and just wreck shit. You know, it's like you're killing it, man.
I agree, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to see the movie to begin with, because in the previews you could see how big they are, and it was like he was taking the dependency out of their ability to fight and just made them strong. So I just and again, like all the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle things that are going on, other than the animation, when the Foot Clan were robots, I wish they would make that for the movies, because you never see them actually use their weapons in the movie.
Yeah.
It drives me insane. It's like the only time you see them use their weapons is to deflect shit that's coming at them.
Yeah, or like flipping a car or some shit like Donatello does. That downhill chase scene was cool and all, but I was just like, unless you have that entire movie be that, like, just we don't like, a good. I would say a good like 45 minutes of this movie could have easily been cut out. Like, characters could have easily been dropped in this movie and been fine. It was just, I don't know. It was one of those things.
I definitely agree. And then I just find it odd with no Casey Jones. They definitely could have used him in this movie. I think that it's like a lot of people. He gets tossed back to April O'Neil, although April O'Neil wasn't in the comic version, and neither was Casey Jones was a main character. He started in it with the Ninja Turtles. In episode 1, April O'Neil wasn't in that. In fact, Peter Laird even said if it wasn't for, the commercialization of the Ninja Turtles, there would be no April O'Neil. Like, I mean, I understand she's a pivotal character in art now, but I hate when they make the emphasis about her. So, other than that, that's mainly my views on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you want to move on, or if you've got anything else to say.
Do you think if you haven't seen it yet, should you go see it? Should you just pass? You wait for it's a DVD or something? What do you think?
I would not, unless you have a child in the household. I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it to people who grew up watching it.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't, because you remember your childhood and you remember them, and then they are Ninja Turtles, but they're not what we grew up with. So anybody who is kind of naive to it, I would say wait till it comes out. Or not naive, but anybody who grew up with it and understands it, I would say wait till it comes out on DVD or Netflix. Actually, if you have Netflix, just wait till it comes out then. But if you have a child, it's perfectly fine to take them and see it in the movie. But that's it. So.
Yeah. If you have a choice between
anything,
Ninja
what about
Turtles,
you? What are your recommendations?
It's so weird because I can tell that there's a slight delay from when I talk and you can hear me, and then I can hear you. So it's kind of funny. So we're talking over each other a lot here. But I would have to say that I was gonna say, if you have a choice between seeing Guardians of the Galaxy and Ninja Turtles, go see Guardians of the Galaxy. Ninja Turtles isn't that great. I mean, there's a couple of cute scenes in it, but it's not worth it. It's kind of a letdown.
Agreed.
Yeah, good stuff.
So we're agreed with 2 thumbs down on the Ninja Turtles.
Well, a thumb and a half, maybe. I don't know. I want to go too far. I'll give it like a half a star. Because, like I
Well,
said, there was a good scene in there. I like the elevator scene where
okay.
they're jamming out or something, and they make. There's like another reference when they're sneaking back in, and Shredder and Splinter. They're worried about Splinter and everything, and Raph's like saying he's gonna walk
Yeah.
away, and that's like some weird reference to like their what was it the remember the shitty fucking like 1990 like they made a music band or whatever. It was their reference to that, and it was just kind of funny to see that.
Yes.
But
Yes, yes.
definitely one star. Definitely one star. Let's move on. Let's get out of this Ninja Turtles shit
Okay. I
before I
agree
say
with that.
fuck Michael Bay in the ass again. Fuck that fucker. What's up? What's up?
It
Ghostbusters.
sounds good to me.
Ghostbusters
Oh,
reboot, man.
this is a sore spot for me.
You and me, we grew up on Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, yes, go like well, you know, not many people know is Ghostbusters when I was a young child growing up was quite literally he was my babysitter. My dad would go down 3 houses and play poker with some friends. My mom worked night shift, and before my dad would leave, he would put on Ghostbusters, and he showed me how to rewind it when I was done, and like literally, I would watch it until he got home. So, it was my favorite movie growing up, and it currently is.
So you
You find it
memorized.
funny that it was my babysitter.
Yeah, so you probably memorized every single line. So as have I. I've seen it probably. I would say probably a good 1,000 times in the last 30 years. You know, just
Oh,
from being on TV or just like
easy.
random things like you flip through channels like oh shit Ghostbusters on, let's watch this. It's always been that show. It's always been that movie that like
Yeah,
if you're flipping through channels and you see it, you got to stop. Like no matter what, you could there could be a football game on that you want to watch and you're flipping back like you would flip back and forth between downs and shit. Like every time there's a tech commercial, it's like flip back or something.
yeah,
It's just one of those movies, and
yeah.
rumors now are going around of an all-female reboot or remake or something. How do you feel about that? I'm sure you probably feel the same way as Bill Murray right now.
Well, well, I can tell you how I feel. What is it with Hollywood trying to ruin 80s children and their beloved characters and their beloved movies and comics?
Well, I wouldn't say.
They always seem to want to destroy.
I wouldn't
You know,
say.
like creating an all and
I wouldn't say ruin. I would just say they've kind of run out of originality. Like there's just like we got this story, but we don't got nothing to put it in. So they'll flip back to the '80s to something. It's like, oh, people probably don't remember this, and they'll just grab it and try to put a new story. They'll shove a new
yeah.
story into it, like
Well,
horrible taco or something. Like
I mean, the reason the reason I go with ruining it is if it's being made, the rumor is that was Paul Feig or Feig, however you say his name.
the dude from
Yeah,
Bridesmaids.
he is going to be the one directing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's directed two movies, Bridesmaids and The Heat. Now,
those are good movies. I've seen them.
that's
I love them.
like it kind of it. Yeah, but they're not like the only reason I've seen both of those movies is because I am engaged and my fiance loves that type of genre. I don't want a guy like him directing a movie like that because I don't think he has the expertise or understanding of a movie like that. Plus the whole girl cast. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
probably Hollywood trying to reinvent the Ghostbusters to a new fan base. Because they have us hardcore Ghostbusters. They already, and I think what they're trying to do is now produce it to women, to girls. It's like
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It's like to me, it's like saying, "Hey, Mattel's gonna come out and be like, you know what we're gonna do now? We're gonna take the Barbie and we're going to make the woman butch and we're gonna brand it to boys instead of women." It just drives me insane. So
I don't know. I
this is
think.
very touchy. Like
Yeah.
I every time go ahead.
I
Go
I
ahead,
think
sir.
that Go ahead, sir. What am I, your commanding officer? I think the only way that they could even come out, come and make this work is if they bring in Dan Aykroyd and he just runs the show as like the last like Ghostbuster, and he's like shit's going down, and he's like teaching a school or something, kind of like Extreme Ghostbusters where Egon was doing it, but poor Harold Ramis is dead. So you have Dan Aykroyd doing it or something where he teaches it, and it's just like a group of girls happen to be interested in becoming Ghostbusters or something, and they have to do it. That's the only possible way I could ever see it ever working without me punching somebody in the face.
But see, yeah, but even though I can't get over the whole aspect, all girls, I can't, and I'm not trying to be like misogynist or anything, but I just think that it seems to me that they're reaching for something, and what worries me the most is they're gonna try to like I would say grow it down a little bit. Ghostbusters. What I would like to see is the Ghostbusters be rebranded with new actors and kind of take the role that the Batmans have. You know, like a more serious view, like a darker view. I would actually wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
Yeah, no, that'd be
because I
actually
mean,
pretty cool.
Ghostbusters is great and it's a comedy and I love it. Yeah, that's the way I would like to see them take that if they're gonna reboot Ghostbusters, kind of do it something a little darker, a little instead of like a goofball comedy like how the first one was.
Yeah.
Like as good as that was a great movie. They've already done it, so why not take it in a different way? But the whole girl, like, and I don't mind female Ghostbusters. That's fine if one or two, but not the whole group. I just don't think it would work well. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of dick jokes to be missed if you just have an all-girl cast, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts, though, on the whole all-girl cast?
Like I said, I think, like I said, the only way they're going to have to do it is not reboot it, not remake it, but actually kind of make it like an extreme Ghostbusters. You know, just like a kind of like 20 years later, like a Ghostbusters 2 was like 5 or 7 years later or some shit like that, dude. You know, just to continue on with it. And, I'm kind of getting sick of rebooting and remaking this and that. Just tack it on at the end of the story. Let the originals, let them have their limelight. Let them have their lore. And you know, you can't
I agree.
Just don't throw it away in a reboot. It'd be disgusting to me. It'd be kind of ruining things.
Yeah, I can say I agree with that too, because the problem with the reboot is, yeah, you kind of forget about what you're rebooting. You know, you forget about the first films that you are rebooting. So I can agree with that. And I can agree, like, you can have a mix too with my thoughts and your thoughts about me, like, making it darker and taking it down that direction, down that rabbit hole. You can also have Dan Aykroyd leading that whole way, you know. Dan Aykroyd or even Ernie Hudson or both. You know, I always liked Ernie Hudson as a Ghostbuster. Yeah. You know, he didn't have a big role. He was more of, you know, he had like things here and there to say, but he was wise in what he said.
Yeah, I think he was only there as kind of like a palate cleanser. I feel ashamed to say this. I feel like it's like somebody was like, man, we gotta put some black in these movies. Yeah, just throw this token black guy in there. And I was just like, but he worked it out. He made it good. I like him better with the mustache. I didn't like him too much in Ghostbusters 2 because they tried to push more comedy onto him, and he was more of like he was kind of more like a stable figure.
Well, the thing about Ghostbusters 2 though was they tried to make everything funnier. They like Ghostbusters 1, it seemed wasn't meant to be a comedy. Like, it was a comedy, but it wasn't meant to be like slapstick, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
But the second one, if you watch it, it seems like it's more about being funny and haha and chasing ghosts and that, than it was actually about being
Yeah.
Ghostbusters and all, getting ghosts.
Oh yeah.
So and I agree with you with Ernie Hudson's character. I think he's better being the wise spoken, instead of trying to make jokes.
Yeah, just a
Uh,
realist, just that
I just agree.
solid character.
Exactly. Just like I'll always remember the scene he had with Dan Aykroyd talking to him about the end of days.
Yeah.
That's the character that I think he should be.
Oh yeah.
You know, when Dan Aykroyd's asking him, well, it can't be the end of days, and he's like, why not? Basically, that's the character I like.
Yeah.
So,
Just that realist, down to earth, like the guy
other
that
than that, I mean,
says.
I think that's really,
That's yeah. That's pretty much all we
yeah,
got.
yeah, he's the guy you listen to.
That is pretty much all we got
Yeah,
on
so
Ghostbusters. I will. I know you haven't had a
yeah,
chance to
I
play
love
it.
the series, and
I know you haven't had a chance to play it on PlayStation 3, but hopefully they'll work some sort of emulation out or something, or make it so you can download it again. I do have some footage up from my Have You Played Ghostbusters game. I'm gonna be throwing up in the background here, over that other conversation. It's kind of weird just talking about it now, but that was actually, it was an alright. It was a fun game if they had only worked out the multiplayer, and I really hope that they do decide to make another Ghostbusters game, but make it kind of like a free roam. Like I want to see the job of being Ghostbusters. Like in that game, it was more of like, here's a storyline,
well,
and
yeah,
you're gonna
that
follow the storyline. But I was like, I want a free roam. I want to get a call and go to a house or go to an apartment or
I agree.
hotel. You know?
Kind of like the I would say 2014 version of Ghostbusters 1,
Yeah,
where you had to go out on calls and get money to buy certain equipment to fight other ghosts and kind of get out there and get around. I would agree. It would be nice if they could make the new Ghostbusters, if they did, and kind of make it like Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
Like how the world is open like that.
Oh yeah.
Not like, hey, I want to steal your car, and somebody gonna
Yeah, yeah.
steal
You
the
just
Ecto
you
One
get
or
an Ecto
something.
One or
But
whatever. Right?
yeah,
I'd find that
yeah,
fun.
you get the Ecto One, and you go on calls, and you can upgrade the Ecto One and your suits and stuff like that. I think that would be a great reboot. And in fact, I'm surprised, and I don't understand why more games aren't that way. So,
Yeah. I have been on.
all right,
Moving on to
so we're getting
games.
off topic. You mentioned other games.
No. We're just switching over to games now. But I have been noticing that I'm liking a lot more open world stuff lately. Like I used to be into Battlefield like crazy. Battlefield was my game. I played that all the time. And now I just feel like I want to play. Like I played Watch Dogs, and I remember playing Grand Theft Auto, and it's like I just feel like open world is the way to go now. It's just I don't know. I know you played like
Well,
Diablo
it
and Dynasty Warriors and
it
shit like
sounds
that.
like you're getting
So,
it sounds to me like you're getting a little burnt out on the first person shooter genre. Really?
yeah,
Is
that's
the all about yourself type games?
yeah. Like you're
So I
Soldier
mean,
One
I
taking
mean
on
they're I
thousand
think they're
people.
great. Yeah, yeah, I know. I think they're great. Like as you know, that's not my type of game.
Yeah,
I'm not one really to get into like Battlefield and like SOCOM and any of that. I mean, for a brief period, I did play Halo, and I did like that game. It's probably the only game I ever liked on Xbox. But other than that, I mean, I was never really like that. I'm more into the RPG kind of loot style games. I like doing that, like or Grand Theft Auto playing with you. That is a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
um,
Can't wait till that
waiting for
comes
that one to
out.
come out. I'm excited for that.
They said fall, but then they said it might be
As
delayed.
we're talking
So,
about that,
so
yeah. But speaking of games, that open world, we got Destiny coming out here
yep,
in about what, a week and a half.
yep.
So, what are your thoughts on that game?
Shit, dude, I can't wait till that game comes out,
So,
man.
what are your thoughts on that?
I've been downloading. I've been downloading my plasma like a computer virus, into the mainframe of the world.
Yeah.
Now, I've been donating my plasma left and right, trying to save up money for this. I know the woman says she's easily paying for it, but we did have that Destiny giveaway, which this dude some dude finally won it. I won't say his name now because God forbid I can't remember it. But he will be getting a copy of his little Destiny here, and
Yeah.
I'll be getting. I got the Ghost Edition. I got the little doodad with the Peter Dinklage little robot dude. So I got that, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I love the beta. I love the alpha. I don't know if you had a chance to play it on your PlayStation 3 yet, or I don't know if you had a chance to play that.
I did play the beta. I did play the beta. So yes, I had a Titan, I believe. It was a lot of fun, that game. It, like, when you told me to play it, I was expecting the worst, and I actually had a lot of fun playing that game.
I too. I'm torn between the Titan.
I'm actually looking.
Oh, see, that delay gets us again. We're gonna have to use Skype next time or something, because this PlayStation Network shit just doesn't cut it sometimes. But what was I saying? Oh, I was torn. I'm torn between the Titan and the Hunter. I kind of like his little knife throwing shit and his golden gun. But I also love the Titan's little fist pound thing where he just blows apart everything. It's just I'm torn. I don't know which one I like.
Yeah, see, that's what that that's why I think I'm gonna stay with the Titans. My choice. I like the fist pound. I like using a melee attack in case I'm having a hard time with aiming. So, which happens from time to time because I'm not used to that genre of game.
The mama says
I
knock you out punch.
Like that. So, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go old style '90s LL Cool J on you.
There's gonna be 1,000 YouTube
but yeah,
videos.
so
of
I prefer to have that. So, Mama, yeah, I know. What so what are you excited about for the game?
This is one game where I just don't give a shit about PvP. Like, I played like 2 rounds of it in the beta, and it just did not entice me at all. Like, I just did not care. Like, I'd rather just go along with my buddies, with you, with a couple other buddies, and just roam the landscape. Either play some story mode or just do the little explore, or we just find little nooks and crannies, and just do our thing. Just run the coast or something.
I agree with you on that, actually, 100%. I also did the PvP a little bit when we were running the beta, and it seemed to me that it was an unnecessary part of the game. Like, I know you get people who like to go against other people, somebody other than the AI, and that's great, but I don't think it's necessary, and my hopes are that they're not going to exclude the best gear because you don't PvP. That's what I worry about. So
I think they're on the ball with that.
I am like you. I'm not a fan.
I think they're on the ball with that.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's good.
I think they're making it so
right.
you could take your PvP there's normal PvP is everybody's balanced. Like, all the weapons you have, even if the way I understand it, normal PvP is all the weapons are balanced. They all do the same amount of damage. Like, your assault rifles do the same as everybody else's assault rifles, no matter what gear you have. But then there's the Iron Banner, which is the PvP that actually uses the stats from the weapons and the armor that you got, and it's kind of like a big show-off thing. So, like I said, I'm burnt out on all kinds of competitive shooters now, to the point where it's I just don't care. But from what I hear, it's the PvP gear and the regular gear are one of the same, and you can get you can get normal gear in PvP. There's no you could play exclusively PvP and get all the gear that you would get normally, and vice versa. So as long as that's still there, I don't think there'll be a problem.
Well, that's good. That's actually great to hear, because because people I'm like you. Yeah, I understand that PvP is important this day now that everybody is linked together through the internet. But I prefer, I mean, I just like getting with my friends and playing just that. I don't feel, I like even when I going back in my World of Warcraft days, I wasn't a big fan of PvP there either, but you pretty much had to do it. I mean, you
Yeah,
had to do your PvP, so um but wasn't a big fan, and I never really have been. But it's good to hear that the gear won't you won't be hampered in the game
yeah,
because you decide that you just want to play with friends instead of playing against other people.
exactly.
So
And the way I hear it,
um, yeah, well,
they're having what is it, 3-man fire teams, which is good. I mean, I'd like to see it bumped up to like 4 or 5, maybe even 6. And then like the raids are gonna have 6-man fire teams, and the raids are supposed to be like they said like 2 to 4 hours long. So I think that might be a little too
yeah.
long, but I think it
I
might
love
be okay in the end. It might just
no
be how fast you run through it, I guess.
I can say honestly, I'm in favor of raids that can last upwards of 4 hours, even longer. I've done a lot of grinding in games. I love raiding. I love everything about it. I think raiding is fun. Just melting down bosses or even having hard times and trying to get to things. So I mean, it can be long for a lot of people. My worry with this whole thing though is you have raids that are like say they're a raid lasts about 4 hours.
Yeah,
My worry is people dropping out of the raid.
that is a big worry,
How like I don't understand.
especially for like people like me who's
Yeah,
got kids
and
and
I
shit.
wonder. Yeah, and I wonder like what I was getting at though is I wonder if they are going to establish some way to where if somebody dropped out of the party they get replaced by the next person in queue who queues or whatever.
Yeah, or you
So
can just invite
that's what I'm
somebody or like
wondering. I
open them up.
mean, yeah, because I would hate to be in a party that makes it to the final boss and it spends 4 hours doing that, and then somebody's got can't make it, has got to go, and next thing you know, we can't even finish it because somebody's got to stop playing.
Yeah, and
That's
then like
that's a big worry for me.
and then like one or two, then sooner or later you're down to like a 2-man squad trying to beat the final boss because you can't open them up. And I don't know. I hope they put in a decent like
Yeah.
looking for group system or something, or just like a queue system where you can just like, hey, I just want the last boss, and just get me there and I'm fine or something. You can just click it, and we can only hope.
and 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 also to go with that, I think that what they should do too is make a designator or a signifier if you like are serially leaving the groups early, like
Oh, the
over and
deserter
over and
penalty.
over. Like say you go on 10 raids and you leave the group early 8 times, huh?
The deserter penalty. Like there's
With that,
in DC Universe Online, there's
exactly.
a deserter penalty, and it's so horrible because sometimes it doesn't it kicks in no matter what. Like you could get disconnected, or you could like your power goes out, and it's like, hey, guess what? You got a deserter penalty, and sometimes it gets unjust, sometimes it's okay,
Well,
but good.
I don't think it should be for doing it once or twice, because they should understand that that happens. I'm more like talking about like what I was saying earlier is, hey, I've gone on 10 raids this week and I finished 2 of them.
Yeah,
Then that person should have a designator or, like you say, a penalty on them,
yeah,
and the penalty should last like I'd say a month or 2 months, and or until they start going and finishing enough raids to where that can disappear. You see,
just put a little
or what you
icon over
do
the
is you
head or
make all the
something.
deserters raid together.
Oh yeah, that's actually a
Yeah,
good idea.
and so yeah, so that would be good. That would be nice. That way people are informed instead of going on like I would say a 4 hour raid. You know right away, hey, this guy's a deserter. Let me try to get in a group. So
Yeah, good idea.
um, other than that, I mean,
I
There's
was
not else.
really,
I really don't know a whole lot about Destiny,
yeah,
so
I was really because
what were you gonna say?
I had a lot of extensive time with it. I played the alpha when it came out, and I played the beta when it came out, and I was really surprised at how like well it functioned as a game. Like the servers felt smooth, the netcode felt pretty decent. I mean, I was fighting computer generated enemies and everything, but it felt like all my hits were registering, and unfortunately, it is at 30 frames a second. I'm used to playing at 60, which is night and day. If you've ever had a chance to play the difference between like a shooter between 60 and 30, it's like you'd want 60 every chance you can because it'd blow your mind away. But
Yeah.
the server, like they I feel like they got their shit together. Like it's not going to be a Battlefield 4 launch where nothing fucking worked. Like I think this is going to be one of the smoothest launches I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm crossing my fingers. I feel like they got their shit together, and I feel like it's going to be a good launch. I feel like nobody's going to have a problem. It's going to be a rarity to happen. It's going to be like the first game in like
That
3 years that didn't launch without a fucking problem. But I think it's going to do it.
that would be great. And I agree with you. When I played the beta, it seemed like everything. In fact, I don't ever remember even having one problem. So I think that it was it was pretty smooth. So I hold on a second.
Take your time.
Oh, I almost had a sneeze there. So I agree with you, and I think that it should be pretty good. So hopefully, like I know a few games recently um, have been plagued with bugs and problems. Like you mentioned Battlefield 4, and we all know about Watch Dogs.
Oh,
Hopefully they took their time with this one, and they got things right. That's what I hope for. So.
all right, man. That sounds good. We're pushing like
Oh,
40
right
minutes
as
here.
I
We're pushing like 40 minutes
I
here if
think
you want
that
to end it.
concludes
Yeah.
our yeah, I think that concludes this podcast. It's our first one. It's a little long. We kind of put it together today, but
Yeah.
I can say
Put it together.
we'll
I'm
go
doing all the
over and we
work,
can talk.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Well, he's doing all the work. He just asked me to join in on it. So this all goes out to Eric there. So if it's good and you like it, make sure you let Eric know how much you enjoy it. This one, like I said, I think if we're gonna do, what are your plans for doing more of these?
Let's shoot for like once a week. Sounds like a plan. We'll put some shit together. Once a week sounds good. We'll definitely use Skype next time because
Yeah.
I know you have a shitty laptop, but you can plug those turtle bleaches you got right into that bitch, and it should work fine. But that way we won't have this big delay.
We shall see, because my laptop is.
Well, you just have to
Yeah.
communicate.
Um.
If need be, I'll get you on the phone for 40 hours. I'll use my Skype credit to call you. I'll play that game.
No, I wonder if I can.
No, I'll Skype it.
Either way, but with that being said, well, so the plan is to do this once a week, and we can talk about various topics. I think next time, though, we need to get a clock on what we're doing and maybe put together something that can kind of guide us in that direction.
No, I think we did pretty good for
this,
first
make sure you let Eric know, and
we did pretty good for first
yeah,
time.
I think so too. I think it ran a little late, but we or a little long, but we did good. I think the topics were good.
Props to whoever stayed
Other
for
than
this
that,
whole
I mean,
thing.
I enjoyed this, huh?
So props to whoever stayed for this whole thing.
What'd you say?
So give props to whoever wants to watch this whole
if you
fucking
stayed and watched
thing.
this whole video,
Leave a comment down below.
yeah,
Share, like,
uh,
click that little like button, click the thumbs up button if you agree with this.
do something.
If you want to call us fuckbags, do it. Leave a comment down below. We'll call it good here, man.
Yeah, we don't care.
This is Devilman signing out.
But with that being said, yes, Monkeystrides out too. You guys have a great, wonderful day, and see you next week.
See you next week.